Hello, vinyl community. Welcome to the Prog Hat channel. I'm Edward, and I'm glad to be back to talk some music and show some records. But before I begin, I want to thank everyone out there that have recently uh, become a subscriber to the channel. Thank you very much. Getting close to 700. Whoa. But I'm glad to be back here to talk about some music. I wasn't for sure what kind of video I wanted to do next. So I said, you know what? I want to listen to some of my vinyl finds first and talk a little bit about them. So that's what I did. Yesterday, I got in one of those trading moods. So I went through my collection and said, what am I not listening to? Or what have I not listened to in a long time? And so I took my little pile of records and did a trade. This record, though, came in the mail today. This right here is John Mayall, Diary of a Band, and it's a volume 1. And I don't know if you can see this very well, but it says right there, selected from the 60 hours of Blues Breaker Club recordings from '67, and that's what this is. Really, it's like a document, kind of a document. There's some short interviews on here. Mick Taylor plays guitar, and I think, if I remember his name right, is it Mark Vernon, the guy who did a lot of producing of the Chicken Shack albums and the early Fleetwood Mac albums, is part of this. But it's really quite interesting. I really did enjoy the I Can't Quit You, which on here says I Can't Quit You, Babe, but I think some pressings they drop off the word baby. But I really did like that. The sound, I'll let you be the judge of that. I didn't have a problem with it. It was a little bit low. Some things, you know, I would say it's a really raw sounding type live recordings made in England. I have this really nice maroon red, trying to see if we could show good Decca, and it's mono, and I really enjoy having this. I do. I enjoyed it. There's, like I said, there's little interviews. There's even a point, I'm not sure who's really talking, but they mentioned something about how they would get these good guitar players in the band, which is true. They had Eric Clapton, as we know, Mick Taylor on guitar, and the gentleman says, and then they just want to leave, and they didn't have a problem of finding another replacement. So that was kind of neat to hear that. It just shows that they could go on and, you know, and find someone else to fill in the shoes as far as a lead guitar player for, you know. This next one was really a blind buy. The cover's really in good shape, in my opinion. It's Vanilla Fudge. The beat goes on. It's really kind of interesting, all this. I take it that is a photo of the producer, Shadow Morton, which I believe he made an album that was kind of, what's the word, experimental, psychedelic. So, like I said, this album is in really good shape. What you're getting here when you get this record, like I said, I didn't listen to this record. I just said, you know, it's Vanilla Fudge. I'm just going to grab it. It was pretty cheap too. It was like $3 plus tax. But what this album is a sound collage. There's not actually any song on here. It's just, there's a lot of voices. It's, like I said, it's experimental. If you want to say it's psychedelic, it's trippy. But there's a lot of spoken stuff on here. But I really did enjoy this part of the music called, I don't know if you can see that, it's called Sketch. It was very classical, and, you know, and it's very, they do some Mozart, but they do this thing where they really don't go on, but you hear things like In the Mood, Hound Dog, and there's a Beatles part there, which is kind of interesting. And then they do the Sonny Bono kind of thing, which is not very long, but the beat goes on, and it's just how it is. And there's, like I said, there's voices. Um, there's a phase four. It's not. I won't say it's all over the place. It does try to have somewhat of a togetherness, I guess. But really interesting record. I would recommend checking it out. Um, I don't think the band liked that the album didn't do very well, so then they went and made another album called what is it, Renaissance or something like that. But then that was the last album with this, working with this producer on this record, and they parted ways. Interesting album though. I don't know what to think about it yet. I'm going to give it a few more spins, but on my first take of it, I was drawn in by the classical music stuff, and then drawn in by them talking about past, present, and future, like presidents and stuff like that. Next, I was excited that my record store, and I think this was their last copy, but I was so glad to get this Tone Poet here. This is Jackie McLean. Am I saying this right? McLean. Demon's Dance. The artwork is the same artist who did Bitches Brew by Miles Davis. I'm really impressed by it and really love the artwork. I mean, these Tone Poets, they really do try to do an excellent job on the artwork and make these into gatefolds. This is something that I wanted a long time, but original Tone Poets, folks, we all know it. They're very, very pricey, excuse me. And I appreciate the Tone Poet series. I can't get all of them, but like this one, I really want it. And most of the ones that I do get, I trade for. But this is hard bop, post bop, sounding jazz. I mean, I love the piano playing of Lamont Johnson. This is the first time I ever heard of him on this record, but you have Woody Shaw. You also have Scott Holt on bass and Jack DeJohnette on drums. Just killer, amazing sounding, these Tone Poets. I'm really impressed, and I'm glad that in some way I can get some of these records that are just going for the originals too sky high for Prog Hat. So love this. This sound is amazing. I mean, I was just listening to it again, and like a Message from Train. Oh, it's just like Jack DeJohnette is in this room playing the drums before me. Just killer record here. Okay, moving on. I'm going to talk about a soundtrack for a movie that I heard through my wife. And I thought it was a 2023 movie, but it's not. It's a movie that came out in 2013. And I enjoyed the film. It is creepy, edgy, spooky-like. But I had to get the soundtrack because it's experimental music. It is avant-garde. The composer of this music is a gentleman by the name of Micah Levi, who is a classical trained musician. And you could tell that he also, and I read that he is a, I don't know what you want to call it, a follower, but he liked artists like John Cage. This music on here, it is amazing. I like what the music does here. Puts you in the mindset of Scarlett Johansson, who plays an alien and who's roaming around Scottish, driving in a vehicle, luring men. I'll put it that way, into her vehicle. But it puts you in the mindset. The music puts you in the mindset of the creepiness, the darkness of this alien character played in the movie. The movie is called Under the Skin. Love this soundtrack. My wife was asking, you enjoy listening to that? How do you listen to that? There's something about experimental avant-garde stuff that gets me really focused, and it also inspires me. I get into a real thinking mood, but the music on here is just killer, and I enjoyed the film, and I enjoyed the music. I felt like the movie too was kind of like The Man Who Fell to Earth with David Bowie in a way. And I mean, it had me get the questions: how long has this woman alien been here, or this alien who takes the skin of a woman and just kind of like learns about humanity and men and has these experiences? Where did this alien come from? But anyway, that's a different topic there in itself. And my last record to show here, I picked up the 50th anniversary reissue of the classic Time Fades Away, Neil Young, and there you see it right there, 50th. I love the way this record sounds. I've always been a fan of this record. I just like its live, its rawness, kind of, not, yeah, I would say kind of like Tonight's the Night in a way, but just a killer show. They even went ahead and added one of my favorite tracks from his very first album called Trip to Tulsa. And I just really enjoyed that piece. I do have an original OG of this album. And when I saw this, I just had to get it. I really like I said, the live versions of these songs are just really good. They kind of, well, what they did was they replica, and I think mine is a little bit different than this, but you can see, and it smells so brand new. But I listened to this one yesterday a lot, and it's on this nice, which doesn't matter to me, but on this really nice, clear, crystal clear looking, and it sounds like there's something else in here, but yeah. There is more about, this little postcard encouraging you to go to the Neil Young archives. But yeah, I recommend, if you're a Neil Young fan and you like this album a lot, I recommend you go pick this up because the sound quality is real good. Gives you that atmosphere of putting you right there at the show. What else can I say? I love Last Dance, L.A. I mean, just the song Time Fades Away. Just a killer show. But anyway, folks. So that's it. Those are some of my recent finds. And like I said, I wanted to listen to a lot more before I come in here and just show records and talk about the music and encourage others that if you wanted to know what some of these records look like, the photos, the gatefolds, and what the music is, well, you heard it from ProgHat. Thanks for watching this video and all my videos, and we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.